Yo, 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 what is going on, COD Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder, and today, do I have a hot one for you? We are going to be taking a look at the top 25 Oprah Winfreys in the game. And what I mean by that is we're looking at the top 25 players who have provided the most RSS assistance, total resources, and number of times in the game thus far, right? So who are the big sugar daddies or mamas out there that are just handing out plentiful resources to their teammates, to friends, to help them, boost, whether that be to a next troop tier level, whether that be to help out in fights, etc. This is going to be a pretty interesting video because we're also going to be showing you some potential price breakdowns on how much have these players, give or take, spent in order to donate this amount of resources to their alliance members. So this is going to be pretty wild, and I'm very excited. So let me first tell you, how do we go about collecting this data before we show you guys off the spreadsheet? Initially, what we did is, so I looked at Kingdoms 1 all the way to, I think we went to S251, which is about 52, no, here. So we went to 168. Well, sorry, not 168. We went to S2-52, which goes all the way to 173, right? So we went from Kingdom 1 to 173. And then what we did is, each of these merge groups, I went in and I looked at starting with personal power, because typically if you're going to be able to provide a lot of RSS assistance, you're probably going to be a stronger player. So we went through here, we looked at more info, we scrolled down, and then you look at total resource assistance given and then number of times, right? So we kind of basically had to do this entire process. I had to go down anywhere from 40 to maybe 80 to 90 players down on all of the Merge Kingdoms list up until that point. And so that's how we went about collecting the data. We collected this on the 6th of October, so 2 days ago as of recording this. So still very fresh, if you will. However, without further ado, let's go ahead and show you guys off the goods. So here we go, Z's. Okay, so let's start off with what we're going to be showing you first. I'm going to show you these ones first, and then we're going to show you the time of harvest, right, number of max purchases, which I have to give a shout out to Rudius, who did provide me with his CoD Excel, because I just needed, I didn't have the data on the time of harvest bundles, which is essentially the RSS ones, right? So if I just pull this back up real quick and we go to, hang on, that's event count, let's go to bundles, for great value. You go all the way to the right. Time of harvest is the one that basically gives you the most amount of RSS, right? So that's the one we're kind of going off of as our baseline. So we're going to show you the first four, and then we're going to show you the number of max purchases the players would have had to make in order to equal the RSS assistance they've given, along with the cost of how much they could have spent for those max purchases, right? Now, bear in mind that this is if they were using all of that to hit that, right? I imagine all of these players probably do some gathering, probably have items from other purchases. So then this number is probably going to be more of a top end number, right? So not really conservative in that regard. So it's probably going to be less than this number, but it will at least give you a ballpark on what you would have to spend in order to donate this amount of resources. Okay, let's first show you guys off these ones. So here we go. Here is your top 25 for, again, players that have provided the most amount of RSS in the game. Forgot to change that to posse. Okay, here we go. Starting at the bottom for number 25. I also have some honorable mentions here as well. So we got number 25 is Hal J. Day Thunder Posse from S2-1 at 3.96 billion. Right, let me say that, billion resources provided, averaging 4.5 per assistance, right? And you'll notice that a lot of these are all between about 4.4 and 4.9, I guess 4.3, 4.9 for the average amount of RSS assistance for each time that they're doing it, which was very interesting when I was going through. Number 24, OHI NATK's S2-13, 4.062 billion. We got number 23, CV SOD S2-4, 4.09 billion. Number 22, OGZ Red Bull 07 S2-9 at 4.18 billion. Number 21, War Mas Baba S2-6, 4.3 billion. Breaking into the top 20, number 20, EIS Yon Soy S2-7 at 4.65 billion. Oh my gosh, I always forget to do these. This is kind of fun to do though when we're doing it in the moment. So let's look at what the translate brings up here. So this calls, ooh, that's actually pretty dope. We'll do it like this. Follow the wind. That is actually pretty cool. Number 18, CK66 Brain Slasher S2-10 at 5.4 billion there. Number 17, OGA Hype or OHypo S2-9, 5.42 billion. Number 16, OGA Moses Crazy Bob S2-9, 5.56 billion. We got 92. Let's figure this one out. We can do it. We can do it. Take back. Oh, cool. Huh. So it's Big Mountains. I feel like this is Take Back Mountains is what I feel like that feels like. Maybe it's just me, but we'll write it how it says and translate. S2-16, 5.6 billion. Number 14, ASC Sith Lord Crispy S2-5 at 5.95 billion. Number 13, ROA Nakin 69 S2-9, 6.5 billion, getting a little bit of space now. Number 12, SPA Morpheus S2-15, 7.3 billion. Number 11, NTS Satoru S2-9, 7.42 billion. Then we get to number 10, breaking into the top 10, TWB Tikimo. Or Tikimo, I'll go with that. S2-3, 7.43 billion. Number 9, NTS Maxim S2-9, 7.77 billion. Number 8, LV Naui S2-13, 8 billion, breaking our 8 billion RSS assisted threshold that far, ceiling. We'll go with that. Then we get to number 7, DNS. I'm gonna figure this one out quickly. Where are we at? Oh, okay. I guess that's a thing. Crab. If that's what that means, Super Crab. S2-2, 9.4 billion. Then we get to number 16. Number 6, at CV's Jason Geezy, J Geezy, our boy. S2-4, 10.46 billion. Right, breaking the 10 billion ceiling mark there. Number 5, breaking into the top 5, Optimus Prime Z from OGA. S2-9, 11.9 billion. Number 4, LNV Bodie McBoatface. Love Bodie. S2-3, 15 billion. Really doing a jump up there from 5 to 4. Number 3, CV's Neff's Fangirl S2-4, 16.3 billion. That's oh gosh. That's our girl Wahid. Number 2, FSK Kyle from the Minions, S2-11, 16.75 billion. And then the number 1 RSS assisted player in the game this far, which is just bananas, is number 1 EIS Preyuth. It's from S2-7 at almost 21 billion RSS assisted. Just bananas, fam. I mean, this is now, let me show you some numbers here, because this is probably going to make it even more bananas for you. So let's take a look here. We're going to reveal this. And then I'm going to color code this in, we'll just say blue. So how we calculated this is we looked at first off, we needed to figure out what was the max number of RSS that you can get from max purchasing the Time of Harvest bundle. That number comes out to 318,875,000. Then what you do is you take that number, right, and you divide it into, right, or you take the RSS assistance number and then you divide it by that number, that 318,875,000. Once you, then that's basically the number of times you'd be having to max purchase the bundle. Now, ideally, these really should just be rounded to a whole number, because you can't really, I mean, you could technically purchase a few more, right, at tiers. So we just left it as is. And then what we did is we multiplied that number based on $185. And so that's where you ended up getting this, right? So you can kind of see G2, we take G2, and then all the way down, you multiply it by 185. That's the number we get. So you can see here on the bottom end, you're looking at what, $2,302 spent, right, for that amount of RSS assistance. Now, again, remember, this is if you're just max purchasing Time of Harvest. I imagine these numbers are probably lower than that just because, again, you're always going to have some resources you're starting out with. Players, I'm sure, are going to be gathering as well. So this is a very more of a top-end number, right, just to take that into consideration. So you have all the way from $2,302 all the way up to $12,102, right? So just, I mean, again, I'm sure there's a decent amount of money that's spent because most of these players are top players. One of the things I forgot to do was write down their power that they're at right now and or even their peak power. I think that would have helped add a little bit more clarity to this one. So just something I honestly did not think of in the moment. Now I'm just kind of thinking of it after. So, however, I'd love to know what you got. I mean, this is literally the Oprah's of the game, right? It's you want some resources, you get some resources, everybody gets some resources. And that's literally what we're talking about here. So again, I just thought to do this stack because I just thought it was really interesting when I was going through player profiles and kingdoms and thinking to myself, man, this would be interesting just to show off, to kind of see where we're at right now on, and maybe just kind of give people somewhat of an interesting gauge or another angle on, what, maybe maybe where the spenders are at. I guess I'm probably spitballing at that point. But with that in mind, this is the data. This is where we're at. I do want to give some honorable mentions too as well, just because these players themselves are a little bit older, or a little bit on some newer kingdoms, but they still had crazy RSS assistance that was given. And I totally forgot to write their names down, so it's really more of kind of a kingdom honorable mention at this point. But there was a player from SSS 1-33 that had 3.9 billion RSS. There was someone from SSS 1-36, and then someone from S2-52, right, which is technically their second season. So along with the SSS, right, these are people that are basically going into their second season. Everyone here is already in their third season. So just to see that these numbers are here for that, it's pretty wild when you think about that. But I do feel bad about forgetting to write the names down. With that in mind, I will be adding this on the public sheet as always, right, for those of you that are still here and listening. I always appreciate you. And of course, if you want to get access to the public sheet, right, remember, anytime I do a stat video, the data will be uploaded 24 hours after, so that way you can find it on the public spreadsheet, which you can get access to by joining my Discord, and then you just have to react to Call of Dragons. You go down to, I think it's CoD Data Stats channel, and then you'll be able to see all of my spreadsheet work, things like the Roots of War stuff, or Elite Behemoth raid times, world record times, along with the top stat data, and I think there's a few other things there as well. With that in mind, that is it. I would love to know what you guys think on this one. And if you like seeing these types of creative top stat sheets from just different angles, right, let me know. If there's other things you guys have ideas for that you'd like to see, let me know in the comments below. That's going to do it for me. As always, until next time, I will catch you later.